Atanya kamu filan, tabuna de huokanian. Ukura huo bisidu, azan nalela itafalsan. Yaku, atanya kamu filan, tabuna de huokanian. Huo bisidu, I don't wanna be somebody. I don't wanna be somebody. I don't wanna be somebody. I don't wanna. Mada fikira sanya kamu filan. Shtakal shedi rabona bisidu. Sala suya hakulu majiran. Duna zekura krabigero. It's your boy M.A.V.Y. And I got the dunia. I don't wanna be nobody, be nobody, be nobody. I never wanna be nobody, no, be nobody, be nobody. I never wanna be nobody, be nobody, be nobody. I never wanna be nobody, no.
Advanced Youth Radio 99.9 FM.
Ana muzakiri yomwe chari wahid alfen waidu shirin sanne yokotai kange nikore kanana salumalu sande mesge nikore sande mabini atakifa ashamikeli mugali uandu mushkila fiyo mitnin saba sande jibulana medida tuwali bada rafi libisa Otala beshanta fi ida Galiyom tani brother ana birija Iti mashiwen Sunday bada kore Uyom dagbe ashia Zoltani jaleni na fibe Badna kebir ogisugu vi eida Ana fekir de angoltai Ana bada asuma maratai Uenu Sunday fine Stop, the girl child marriage. Let the boys and girls have equal rights. Stop, those that have a diddy. Be near get off him and stop, the girl child marriage. Let the boys and girls have equal rights.
Let me raise my voice and say something about this. Kalamta Jozubinia so care the capture did. She's like a little sister. Stop it, man, please. Bukungi Yatala Dictora Shanita Biish. She's innocent, eject. She got dreams to achieve. Bukungi Yatala Wazira Shanbelet Begive. She's innocent, eject. She got dreams to achieve. Okotai will give go. We mat again a kafif. You beautifully strong, Shalak and Mafi Habib. I'm singing you this song to let you know it ajib. I'm wondering wallahi how you was made for my rib. They may think I'm crazy, I don't wanna go deep. Hayataki mohim matadaye best Philip. Fetish hagiga taki when know what you need. Okanjina fi hagiga in this life you're the seed. I don't know how to praise you, you're stronger than me.
Gelina stop, Joza tabediri. Binere keder off him and stop. The girl child marriage. Let the boys and girls have equal rights. Stop, Joza tabediri. Binere keder off him and stop. The girl child marriage. Let the boys and girls have equal rights.
Yes, they have equal rights. Why is all for dunya shaif? Door tabanat fi community is white. If you want a better future, then we need them inside. They can show you how to be strong and how to survive. Kanjina fi hagiga umwani ya ufahim life. They know how to be strong in the hard times.
Mama, Baba, I am but just a child, your tender child, sweetly innocent. Please do not let them steal my innocence.
Well, the song is coming in from Lil Bin, Daddy P and Iron. It's called Joe's at Abedir, bringing us now to 8 minutes after the hour of 9. And welcoming you to the fourth hour of the show. This is 99.9 FM Advanced Youth Radio. They listen to a couple more tracks, but like I did say from the very beginning, that I'll be having guests in the studio. And I'm glad to welcome them right to the studios of 99.9 FM. Apologies, we are not going to be able to live stream these on our Facebook page due to a little bit of technical challenge. However, you can participate by dialing the number 0922-990-990 or 0918-990-990. I am joined by 3 guests in the studio today, and first on the list is James Lubang Scopas, who is the Executive Director, Excellence Foundation for South Sudan. And I'm also joined by Anna Stephanie, who is a judge, and then I'm joined by Emmanuel Bida Thomas, who is the team leader for Juba Primary Schools mini competition. I'll welcome Bida firstly to the studio. Bida, welcome to the studios of Advanced Youth Radio.
Thank you, Dev. Good morning.
Good morning. And then I do have Anne, who is a judge with Juba Primary Schools mini competition. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Otherwise, you can correct me as soon as possible. And lastly, I do have James Lubang. Welcome to the studios, James.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, these are the 3 that will be with me in the studio, and we're going to have a conversation on a competition that is forthcoming. When is it going to happen, and what was the criteria used as well in securing the schools that are going to compete, and even much more? Why are we having such a thing at this time in 2023? Is there a history to it? That also will be looking into it much more as we continue in this conversation. Mind you, you can always send your question in advance on text, and we'll be able to read it. Our WhatsApp number is 0922-990-990. Now we'll get right away, and James, I will send this to you. The intent, we'll come to it a little bit, but who is organizing this Juba Primary Schools mini competition 2023?
Thank you for the opportunity. Juba School Mini Competition, I think it is organized by Excellent Foundation for South Sudan. And this is going to be the 2nd year that we are running the same project. We started, the first audition was last year, and this is the 2nd audition that we are doing it this year, and it is going to continue like for a very, because it is happening every year.
Yeah. Okay. Are there partners involved in the organization of the competition so far?
Definitely, we have some partners. We have one. We have State Ministry of General Education and Instruction, which is Central Equatoria. Then secondly, we also have the Juba City Council. The 3rd one, we have University of Juba, who is always helping us with the hall, like during the final. Then the last one is Advanced Youth Radio. So those are some of our partners that are helping us.
Thank you. Thank you for that. A little bit of information on that as we get closer to it. Now, I want to jump right into the content, which is, I think, much more important. Bida, this goes to you. This is the 2nd edition of the competition, and last year you only had 5 schools. And this year, you're going to have 14 schools. That's a very, very wide increase of schools. What informed your decision as a team to increase the number like that? And how was your experience in the 1st edition?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Dev. I would like to first bring you to speed with what happened last year. So for us at Excellence Foundation, we usually have a very open criteria in which we admit schools to participate in our programs. So this is not the only program that we do. We also work with schools in terms of mentoring their prefects, boards. We also do career guidance workshops to schools, and we work with different professionals who go and give career lectures to inform these students on how to do this. So in the 1st year, we did this with 5 schools, which included the likes of Bishop Mazolde Memorial Primary School, the likes of Juba Model Primary School. We had St. Philip's Primary School. We had Juba Model Primary School, and then Train Up a Child Primary School. So this competition has 3 categories in the 1st edition. So in the 1st edition, we had the spelling bee, where you are given a word Dave, and for instance, we say Dave spell advance, and then you have to spell the word in 20 seconds. Otherwise, your chance goes. And then we have the speed challenge quiz. So with the speed challenge quiz, like a kid is given a question from the subjects that they learn in school, that is basic maths, English, science, social studies, and they must give that answer in 10 seconds. So for instance, if we ask you that if today is Monday, what day will it be after 15 days? So you have to give me the answer in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we had the debate.
Yeah.
So that is the academic debate. So where we have a theme. So for last year, our theme was peace building. So we give motions or what we call resolutions around this, and then the kids share their thoughts around these issues.
Yeah.
So this is to give them perspectives to look at certain issues from two sides. Yeah. What would it feel like if you're on the negative side?
Yeah.
And what would it feel like if you're at the affirmative side? Yeah. And then so it was, and then the thing is this. So the way in which we organize it is to like help these kids experience a lot, because we do it through school to school visit. So for instance, if Advanced Youth Radio was a school, and then let's say Classic FM is a school, then if it is Classic FM versus Advanced Youth Radio, then Advanced Youth Radio has to visit Classic FM.
Okay.
So what does this mean? This means that you will also have to go and experience Classic FM. You go to the studios, you see how it looks like, you interact with the staff there, and then you get into the business. You see? So because sometimes schools, still kids have this perspective that, hey, our school is the best and stuff like that, but then they don't get to see what actually happens. And then when they go there, it actually gives them some sort of inspiration. You see that? And then now, in the final, that is when we now go to a neutral ground. This is because we want to bring all the schools that participated from the beginning. Now all of them will come together in one big venue, and then we also invite all people who are very interested in such issues. They get to listen to speeches, they get to go to the business and stuff like that. And then, so this year, we actually wanted only 8 schools from the 6. But then when we put out the call for expression of interest, over 25 schools registered. So when there's 25 schools registered, we had to take this issue to the board of the organization. We said the initial plan was to have 8 schools based on available resources. But then we have 25 schools. What are we going to do? Okay, they said, okay, that's fine. Let's increase from 8 to 12. And then what happened was we did assessment of the registration. We looked at criteria such as the distance of the school, the history of the school, and then after that we invited all the teachers from these schools for an envisioning meeting to explain to them how the competition works. And then if they have any question, we answer them. And then after this explanation, if they feel like this is something that they will really want to take part in, and then after that we then did assessments. So in these assessments, we visited the schools. So where we interact with the administration, whether they have understood the guidelines of the competition, and where there are some commitments that this school is supposed to make, whether they are ready to make these commitments. And then we also had a chat with their kids, because we make sure that they have to have teams. So we interact with these teams. We experiment with them how the spelling works, how the speed challenge quiz works. And then from these assessments, and then our assessors gives us feedback. We went to the schools. These are the positive sides from these schools, and these are recommendations we made to the schools. And then after that, if the commitment levels of the schools are low, and then we knock them out. And then that is how we came with the 14 schools.
With 14. From initial 12 to now 14, a bonus of 2 was added.
So we had to again, so after these assessments, we realized they're actually, because sometimes when you knock people out, you have to give proper justification. Otherwise, one, it cannot be good for the image of the school, and also for the image of the organization. For instance, you cannot knock someone out when they have fulfilled the criteria of the assessment, and again, if they are really willing to take part. Otherwise it will discourage them, because like Lubang said, this is something that's going to happen for several years. But then now if you begin putting people off over lame reasons, then they will not take part.
They will not. It will bring a bad beginning.
So that's why we had to increase again from 12 to 14. So we'll work with the 14 schools. And then also another interesting thing about this year is we have introduced a component of speech. So with the speech, you know, there are some issues that even you are passionate about, and you feel people should hear about these issues. So we are giving these kids a chance, to write proper speeches about any topic that they are passionate about, and then they deliver to the audience during the day of the competition. And the interesting thing is all these things happen in 3 hours. So for instance, if it is school A versus school B, if they visit, we have 30 minutes for debate, 30 minutes for speech, 10 minutes for speech, 30 minutes for spelling, 30 minutes for quizzes, and then the judges come with the result. There 3 hours, we close, and then we see if you can proceed to the next round. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll get to know much more the levels of this competition and also how you go to that next level that Bida has mentioned. For now, let's build the foundation as we march towards start, knowing that there are 14 schools that will be participating this year. Firstly, there's this striking question: why such a competition in South Sudan? And I will give it to Anne, and any of you can have an addition as well to that question, or any question that you direct to any of you around. Welcome.
Thank you for hosting us today. It's really a privilege to be here. So the question as to why this competition, you know, like as South Sudan as a country, people claim that we are young, but the people inside were not young. So coming into the education system, it's really very low. So one of the reasons as to why this competition is held is to enable the pupils to build their career, and even for them to fulfill their potential needs and everything, because knowing that this competition is going to take place, these pupils will even improve in their their learning, even the English and everything, because the competition, it's with various schools, not only one school. So by that, it will even improve the students, because this, the pupils. Sure.
All right.
So
Sure.
that's the little I can say about it.
Lubang wants to have an addition.
Thank you. I think I would like to add to what my colleague have just said. I think one of the reasons why we come up with this competition, one of it, I wanted to provide a platform for these students to display their knowledge and confidence in a friendly and encouraging environment, because if we as a country, like what he said, we are not young, so we really have to provide a platform for these kids so that they can be in position to showcase the knowledge that they have. Then secondly, also we have a lot of competition in the country, like most of them, they are basically debate. Then we said, and most of these debates sometimes, you know, things to do with debate, a lot of things will come in. But when we look at the issue of the spelling bee and the quiz and the speech, there, because if you look at first at the spelling bee, you are given a word. When you spell it correctly, you will be given 1 mark. If you fail, meaning you will be given 0 mark. There, you can even determine yourself whether you are going to win or you are not going to win. So by that, we come up with one of the objectives that we wanted to foster a culture of healthy competition and collaboration among the participating schools, because like last year we held there, we don't have another problem. Now people are complaining my school is cheated or what. I think that is the reason why we come up with it.
Yes, Bida.
Yeah, so another thing is, you know, we run the South Sudan National Spelling Bee, and the South Sudan National Spelling Bee is part of a federation of African spelling bees called the Africa Spelling Bee. So this Africa Spelling Bee has a continental competition, and South Sudan has never been part of that, So we run this as part of how can we put South Sudan in terms of continental representation, So I have educational background. I've been teaching between 2016 and 2022, and I didn't see such competitions. But in my school, and I was in the capacity of somebody who heads the Department of English, so I ran inter-stream competition, because I was in a school that had 16 classes.
16 classes.
Yes, so we ran a inter-class competition, and also at that time, I in my capacity as the teacher, I reached out to a lot of even radio station, even advanced, when you were at the other plaza over
Plaza,
there, and then Radio Mirai and stuff like that. So as part of that, it gave some of these kids the platform. Like some of these kids, at some point, some of them were taken to Addis Ababa to address African leaders on issues that affect children. And up to now, one of the kids is still being engaged by Save the Children in a lot of their programs when they have regional representation and stuff like that. So this is what Lubang is talking about. The platform to see these kids progress and see that some of their aspirations are brought to light. Yeah.
You have mentioned the South Sudan National Spelling Bee, and you have also said that it's a federation involving the African continent. Perhaps, Lubang, do you have a little bit of information there? As maybe the question would be as well, is the competition part of the South Sudan National Spelling Bee, or is it a separate component from it?
I think, like I said in the beginning, South Sudan National Spelling Bee, I think, is one of our projects that we are running currently, and as Bida put forward, we are the body that is registered with the Federation of African Spelling Bee. And in terms of any representation for the country to be represented in terms of spelling bee, it is only through the South Sudan National Spelling Bee. So the aims of this, we say are the same aims of the spelling bee, the African spelling bee. One of it is wanted to improve the use of the literature. Then we also wanted to improve what we call the social skills of these learners. We know we have different altitude. We also wanted to improve the altitude towards learning among primary school students. And then lastly, also, if you look at the aims of this spelling bee, one of it is I wanted to transform the children into credible leaders, because things to be representation, they can be in position to stand in front of people without any fear or what. I think that is how we come up with it, so that they can be like agents of change in this country, because all right, thank you.
Let's go for a break. When we come from the break, we look into much more. When is the competition going to happen, and some of the schools available within this CS competition as well, and much more as we continue the conversation. You'll be as well able to dial on 0922-9909-90, 0909-90, 25 minutes after 9. Good morning.
Momo is alive with Momo. 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 Momo, atare situ beta boom, beta boom. It is struggle we betina. Yala asa FTN mobile money. Ijibula ita fursa edunko. Alam guru staki wele bi woduru. Alam guru staki wele bi seregu. Gelena trust MTN mobile money. Oriata Ektisad.
The administration of Africa's Zil University, located in Yapa, Lobonokpayam, is inviting applicants for the September 2023 intake. Africa's Zil University is a legally registered institution established in 2018 to provide high level of intellectual capabilities in the field of academia in different fields to promote advancement and betterment of the society. This September intake has both diploma and bachelor degree in computer engineering, accounting and finance, economics, procurement and logistics, computer science and human resource management. Remember, we have a very conducive learning environment, modern learning facilities, very affordable tuition fees, etc. For more information, reach us on 0926 077 987, 0928 000 802, or pick your application form at our Juba office located at Munki Block B opposite Jerusalem Pharmacy. Africa's Zil University, inculcating professional dignity.
تنظم حكومة جنوب السودان من خلال وزارة المالية وتخطيط المؤتمر الاقتصادي الوطني الأول تحت شعار نحو نمو اقتصادي متنوع شامل ومستدام، وبرعاية فخامة الرئيس سلفا كير مايارديت رئيس جمهورية جنوب السودان. يجمع المؤتمر بين مختلف أصحاب المصلحة من قارة أفريقيا والعالم لمناقشة سبل تحسين الاقتصاد في البلاد. سوف يكون الافتتاح الرسمي للمؤتمر بقاعة الحرية في جوبا يوم الاثنين اللي هو يوم 4 شهر 9 وبليه 3 أيام من المداولات. الحفلات في فندق بيت راديسون بلو. وحفل الختام حيكون في قابة الحرية يوم الجمعة اللي هو يوم 8 شهر 9 سنة 2023. المؤتمر ده بيجي بدعم من البنك الدولي وبنك التنمية الأفريقي وبرنامج الأمم المتحدة الإنمائي UNDP. تعال وشارك في المؤتمر الاقتصادي الوطني وساهم بأفكارك لبناء الأمة.
Advance. You are listening to Advance Youth Radio.
Good morning, welcome back from the break. It is 29 minutes after the hour of 9 and you're listening to Advanced Youth Radio 99.9 FM. With me in the studio today I am joined by James Lubang, Executive Director for Excellence Foundation for South Sudan, and then Emmanuel Bida Thomas, who is the team leader for Juba Primary Schools mini competition. This is going to be the second edition this year. As he said earlier, it's run annually. We're also joined by Aunt Stephanie, who is a judge with the Juba Primary Schools mini competition. Some of the things that have already been mentioned, perhaps if you just tuned in late, among the partners, they do have Juba City Council, University of Juba, who offers them, also holds during some of the sessions, and Advance is also part of them, and then the Central Equatorial State as well, Ministry, it's involved. How many schools were in the first edition? 5 of them, but this year, the second edition, there will be 14 schools. In the first edition, there were 3 categories: spelling bee, speed quiz, challenge, and also debate. The theme for last year was peace building, that generated the motions for the debate. This year, a 4th category has been added, and that is speeches. That is all available for you. 25 schools registered initially, but 14 schools had to go through after assessment, after knowing the history of the school, the distance of the school, and now coming back from the conversation, we want to know how are the schools that are there, 14 of them, and then we also get to find out from here, when will the competition start? Are there already ongoing conversations? Are there competition events that have started? And if they're there, we get to know. And Bida, will start with you, the schools that have succeeded for this session. And then when we do come back, we'll be coming to James, whether there are activities already ongoing as the dates are approaching.
Okay, so the competition will start on the 18th of September. So we actually took a close look at the South Sudan academic calendar.
Yeah.
So 18th will be the second week of term 3.
Okay.
So that's when classes, when the people return from holidays.
Yeah.
And the schools this year will be in group 1. We have Bishop Mazoldi Memorial Primary School, which is a Catholic school run by the Sacred Heart Sisters of Jesus. It's located at Buluk. And then we have CMS Primary School, which is under the Episcopal Church. It's located at High Cinema, just opposite the Juba Stadium.
Yeah.
We have St. Francis Primary School, which is just located around the Seventh-day Adventist roundabout.
Yeah.
And then we have St. Paul Primary School, which is located at High Referendum. And then in Group 2, we have Diplomatic Primary School, located in Nyakuron West. And then we have Juba 1 Girls Primary School, a government-aided school, located at High Cinema. And then we have Juba Diplomatic School, which is located at High Referendum. And then we have St. Philip's Primary School, which is located at High Mauna, just opposite Blue Flag. We have Juba Parents Primary School, located in Jebel, just along the Yei Road. Where we have Real Hope Primary School, located in Godele Block 4. And then we have Alekma Academy, located in the People's Republic of Sherikat. We have Friendship Academy, which is located in Sugmamur. And then we have Glorious Baptist Academy, located in Jondoru. And then we have Leach Primary School, located in Checkpoint. So you will notice that we have like schools from all corners of Juba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's come to maybe a follow-up quickly, just to you, Bida, before you pass it over to looking at, is there a deliberate attempt why they're group 1, 2, 3, and 3, or how is it? Like, for instance, in group 2, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in group 1, there are 4 schools. In group 3, there are 4 schools. In other words, I think the question or the direct question would be, how is the advancement, the level of movement?
Okay. Yeah. So you see, like the thing is this: in the group stages, each school will have two fixers.
Yeah.
There's one home fixer where a school visits them, and there's one away fixer where they have to visit another school. And then after that, we'll rank them, because the judges will look at the average scores gained from all 4 categories of the competition. For instance, how many did the school gain in spelling, plus speed challenge quiz, plus speech, plus debate, divide by 4. That will bring their score in that particular fixer. And then after this, we will rank all the 14 schools. We'll put them in one table. And then now after that, the bottom 6 schools will be eliminated. And then the top 8 schools will proceed to the next round. So after that, there is a way it is ranked. So I haven't noted it down, but in the fixer, there's a way it is ranked. So certain ranks will go with, and then after, from those 8 schools, and then now 4 schools will go to the semi-finals. And then from there now, the top 2 will go to the grand final. So that is how it goes.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Right away to James. There's some pre-activities that you're already doing as the 18th of September is almost, it's around the corner.
I think we have done so far, we have done with days of the teachers induction, which was done in, it's called Coneta, yes. We have done it. Then the second thing that we have also done in terms of preparation for this competition is the MB zoning, where we move from school to school. I think that one is also done. So we are now waiting just for the main event now, for the kickoff.
Awesome. Now to the judge in the building, what do you look forward to in this competition? You know, judges are given a very, very tough role, and so many things rest upon you. What do you look forward to?
Well, you know, in every competition, there must be a winner and a loser. So being as a judge is a neutral person. You're not going to be biased. So looking into that, you know, as a judge, you need not to judge the pupil on how you think that what he's saying is right, but then to listen on what he or she is really saying. Because if you think what you're thinking is right and that one of this pupil, then you end up messing up and you give that person a wrong mark. So we are going to look into the, you know, it will take us into the reasoning and how that pupil gives the quotation or the evidence on that. We shall also look into how that person listens and responds. And the other thing is how the pupil also expresses him or herself and how he delivers the messages to the audience. That will involve like how that pupil really involve him or herself with the audience, because the most thing is the audibility. Are you really able to pass the message? How do you want your audience to get that? And the other thing is also the teamwork and the roles. Like as a team, there must be a teamwork. One person should not overtake the other, because your team, and you must know your role, what you're going to say and what the other one is going to say. So that's briefly what I can tell you for now.
All right. Thank you. 24 minutes to 10. We'll be drawing to a conclusion shortly on 0922 990 990, 0918 990. Bida, as he mentioned, James mentioned earlier that one of the things that you look forward to is to see this competition running all across South Sudan. And also in some of our sideline conversation, you mentioned how there will be a pilot study in some parts of the country. Let me pick this call, and after that you will as well give us a debrief, a little bit of some of the pilot areas that you'd want to carry out. Good morning. Yes, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm called Ina from Munuki.
Ina, welcome.
I just want to appreciate Emmanuel Bida Thomas because he was my teacher in primary.
Okay.
Teacher Bida, how are you doing? May I talk to him, please?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good morning, Ina.
I'm all right. Morning to you.
Great.
Yeah, I've been so excited when I heard about the spelling bee because I have siblings who study in Mazoldi. They have been informing me here and there about their competitions, that the competition was huge and they won the glory in the University of Juba last year. That made me very proud. You are really great to know the talent that they have. So I just support you that you continue with that spirit so that you can bring up the talents that are in these young children.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ina. We would like to have you as a judge if you have time, one of the days.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Okay, then.
The best of your time.
Thank you.
Sawa.
All right, that's Ina calling in from Munuki, and she says that Bida and the team should continue with what they're doing. And also she did say that he was her teacher back in the days. Well, Bida, your legacy is already available. That will be another conversation for another day. Right away to the pilot areas that you want to carry out this same activity.
Okay, so now we actually we wanted to do this this year, but now we got busy. We want to tap into the aspects of collaboration. Because we are not very aware of local context in some parts of the country. So what we want to do is we want to put out a call to interested organizations that work in different parts of the country, and then what we do is we offer them technical support in terms of how they can start these things up in their different locality. So in some places that we can easily reach, we can do that ourselves, but in some of these location, we will definitely need people who are aware of the local context to be able to roll these things in their different localities. So we'll put out the call. Interested organizations can contact us, and then after they contact us, we can have meetings with them and support their teams on how to start these things, because this thing usually is good to start small and then you grow gradually. And then we are also already piloting in EA. So EA is a place that we can easily reach. So we formed a partner organization there called God Loves You Initiative. So we're working with God Loves Initiative to pilot the spelling bee, the speed challenge quiz, and the debate with 8 primary schools. So as we speak now, the call for expression of interest is open, and already schools are picking registration forms from the Office of God Loves You Initiative in Yei. And then when I was in Kapoita, I also met local organizations there. So we are already in discussion with some of them to see how they can pilot the spelling bee there. But theirs will be, the spelling bee is usually a one-day event, So it's usually where you just write to the schools, and then the schools bring in maybe 5 peoples, and then they gather in one venue plus the audience, and then they just do it, finish, and the final, everything is one day. So it's usually easy to run. So we're already in discussion with that, and in third term we will roll out also in Kapoita. So if somebody who is listening to this program probably has connections or runs an organization in other parts of the country, and they think that this is something they can try out. Usually it doesn't need a lot of resources in terms of finances. It's you can run it in a very economical way, and you cannot spend a lot of money if you are scared of spending money. And also for sustainability, I usually don't advise people to be looking for financial support. And so, as you know, most of this financial support is not sustainable. Like you cannot keep a project running for 5-10 years. Maybe somebody can support for a year and then withdraws funding. But for sustainability, I usually do not advise Excellence Foundation to rely on looking for funders. This is crap. It cannot work. For sustainability of the project.
To you, James, he's mentioned a very good component of funding. If in case an organization or someone else outside there wants to be a part of this good cause, how do they reach out, and how can they partner with you in executing this as we draw to a conclusion?
Thank you. I think Excellent Foundation is on the web. We also have some, in terms of email, you can, he or she can be in position to hello us at helloexcellentfoundationss.org. The person can reach us and we can be in position to discuss.
Are there ways someone can participate or support sort of in kind, or that can be discussed when they contact as well?
Yeah, definitely. We need support. Like currently we have some people who those one who maybe have attended and they have seen that maybe the the program that we are doing, it has some impacts in the lives of the children. They they do sponsor. Like currently we have like two people who have sponsored us with some just mega amount of money like that, so that we can be in position to run. Because if we look at the budget is a bit huge. It is not, we don't advise like if you wanted to sponsor, you have to sponsor the whole of everything. You can just pick out 2 or 3 items from the budget list, then you can be in position to sponsor that, I think.
All right, as we finalize, I will come to you, Judge, and your final words for today.
First, I would like to thank the station for hosting us. And my final words for today, to the schools outside there, that those ones that were not able to be part of this, they should not get discouraged, because in everything there's criteria. And if there is criteria, you have to meet them. So if you're not part of it, then we wait for next year. Better days are ahead. So that's what I can say for right now. Like this, the pupils will get prepared. 18th September is not far, so we're waiting for them as they're waiting for us. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Bida, your final words as you look forward to the day?
Not really final words. I still have a lot of things to say. Because because I have been a teacher and I've seen how some of these schools run schools. So you find that most schools have a major focus on academics. So you find that the pupils are pumped. Probably you have kids, you probably see kids on the streets. Somebody goes to school at 6 and comes home at 5. And this is all academics, just reading and stuff like that. They don't give these kids the opportunity to have a platform to explore some of these things, and then some of these schools, they give organizations hard time. Like if you want to introduce some of these activities, they have a lot of unnecessary bureaucracies. So for me, I usually leave them out. I tell them this is, and then some of them also have this belief that if it is something that is run by an NGO, it's fully sponsored. Because for us, we place some responsibilities on the schools. One is issue of transportation, because this involves visits. The schools have to pay for the transportation of their team from where they are to the venue of the event. You see that? So, and most schools, they should have a budget for extracurricular activities, so that when such things come in, they're able to put money into these things, because the pupils pay and they don't necessarily pay for academics. And then also I want to say that we are also, since last year, we have been in discussion with Advanced Youth Radio, especially Advanced Youth Radio has a show called The Teens Evolution that runs every Saturday. So we've been in discussion with the administration of Advance on how we can have 1 hour segment of that show in order to run the spelling bee on air. And then actually, like, schools and pupils get to see how the thing works. So the discussions are ongoing. So probably we are just finalizing on how we can do the issue of the logistics, because it's also about transporting the participating, because we will have to bring the pupils to the studio. So we're looking at how can we bring these pupils from their schools to the studio, and then from the studio back to their to their schools. So this is something that we should be expecting soon, and very soon they should also be able to get their pupils on air. Another thing is we are already getting positive feedback, especially from our media campaigns. One, this is our 3rd radio talk show. We had a radio talk show at Classic, we've had a radio talk show at Miraya, and then this is the 3rd. And then we'll also get to see these things published on the newspapers, especially towards the start, and also on website. We have gotten very positive feedback in terms of how organized the competition is, even from the teachers themselves, because we want to see that we are in constant contact with teachers. And then also I love technology, so I want to see that these teachers appreciate technology. So what happens is we put these teachers in a WhatsApp group, including all the judges. So we continue to have engagement with them in case anything comes up at any point regarding the competition, or there's clarity that they need, and then we are able to make the clarification there. And then also the resources, all resources about the competition, we have them on our website. So we give them links so that they can visit, and then they get more information. So this gives the teachers the opportunity to explore technology, because we even go to school where even no teacher in that school has a WhatsApp number. Like, how does it work? like right now, yeah. Yeah, so at least you will see people getting to know how to visit websites, how to go on YouTube, watch a video and stuff like that. You see that?
Yeah.
So these are things that that are very, very nice.
Yeah.
And also people are very very impressed in terms of how organized we are, like I said, because right now we are complete with all arrangements that are needed for the competition to start. So what we're waiting for is only the date.
Yeah.
All schools have all full information about everything that is going to happen. So you can imagine like the difference.
Yeah.
So it's something that is very huge. And I would like to encourage all schools to embrace extracurricular activities. They shouldn't pump students with only academics. And then they should also see that they shouldn't give organizations hard time. When organizations go to them, they shouldn't think that all projects are fully funded.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should also support somehow.
Yeah.
And lastly, I look forward to really engaging with all these schools. Like I told you in the beginning, I had to put some things aside because I want to see that this competition runs very well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And finally, James.
Thank you. I think thank you for hosting us. I will just tell you people some brief about Excellent Foundation, because when we are moving from school to school, we really face a lot of challenges since we are newly organization. So we face a lot of challenges, the questions that are coming up. And you know, sometimes in South Sudan, most of the schools, as Bida put it forward, most of the schools are rigid when it comes to things like that. To the public, I think Excellent Foundation is one of the non-governmental organizations which is based in South Sudan, and it was registered in September 2021. We are not only, this is not the only activities that we are doing in the country. We also have a lot of activities that we are doing, like in education. Yes, these are some of the activities that we are doing. We also have some projects in health and hygiene. We also have some in youths and women empowerment. We have some activities there. We also some activities in emergency response and preparedness. We also have some activities in terms of safety, mentorship, and human rights. So those are some of the information that I would like the public to know concerning Excellent Foundation.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming, James. Thank you for coming, and thank you for coming, Bida. It's good to see you. All the best in the coming competition, and I can't wait to attend some of these sessions as well to witness all of them.
Yeah, like if you have time, you can even come and be a judge. Like it's just a 3-hour thing. So there are some sessions in the morning.
Yeah.
The morning sessions run from 9 to 12. And then the afternoon sessions run from 1 to 3.
I may think of 1 to 3.
Yeah, so if your availability is there, so you can let me know, and we can put you in one of the sessions. Because actually we are also very cautious with the judges, because we work with volunteer judges. We want to see that these judges are not affiliated with any school, and then also if there's any conflict of interest, that should be declared, and then we do a swap as soon as we can.
Awesome. Good morning. At 10, remember that South Sudan will be taking on China in the basketball. Don't miss out. You can watch that available on MTV app, available for you today. Good morning. Goodbye.